For the many faults Miraculous Ladybug has, one of the coolest things this show has ever developed was its love square. Its main or secondary plot, depending on who you asked. One of the main factors of the show that kept us hooked on the show for 10 years, despite its many bad writing decisions over the years. Today, I'm going to use the Love Square to break down the steps on how to create a binge-worthy couple for your story, fanfic, comic, animatic, and more. This is specifically for authors writing a story with a superhero dynamic in it. I'm currently working on a project where the protagonist eventually becomes a superhero and has a love interest. That's why I broke down the Miraculous Love Square, so I could understand what made me feel so captivated to continue watching this show for 6 years after discovering it. Feel free to use and reconstruct my breakdown to help you write your own character dynamics. Okay, so the first part to my breakdown is dynamics. Typically, when looking at a relationship and story writing, the dynamic between the two characters is often why people love romance plots so much. It's about how the characters make each other feel, how the characters make each other act, how the characters make each other think, the sacrifices they make within their dynamic or to make their dynamic exist in the first place. It is the action and reaction sequence. Typically, within two people who are romantically involved, we only see one dynamic. The number can be increased to 2 dynamics if one of the characters is a superhero or has 2 identities. There would be the civilian's relationship with the person, and there would be the superhero's relationship with the person that they're in love with. This creates the I know something the other character doesn't know feeling in the reader. In this situation where there are 2 character dynamics, the characters don't know they're interacting with the same person. For the double identity individual, the portrayal of these dynamics shows how they trust and want to protect the person they're interacting with in both identities. For the other character, it will give them feelings of closeness, but also confusion, because they don't understand why they feel so comfortable and care for the other identity they aren't familiar with. Furthermore, over Acts 2 and 3s, it can lead to the character heavily trusting and caring for the person's double identities. Over time, it can lead to the double identity person not telling the single identity person the truth. It can make the single identity person grow distrustful and attentive to how the double identity person acts. Once the truth is revealed, there will definitely be conflict, and a hopeful reunion or separation over time. The phenomenal thing about Miraculous Ladybug is that because it has 2 people with double identities, it in turn creates 4 dynamics: Adrienette, LadyNoir, MariChat, and Ladrien. Each dynamic has its own kinks. LadyNoir is flirtatious, intense, and very trusting. Adrienette is cute and kind of awkward. MariChat is relaxed, sincere, and as honest as these 2 characters can be with each other. Ladrien is flustered and wholesome, but pretty much non-existent. The reason these dynamics work so well is because of the various plots and conflict that develop from each dynamic. But these mean nothing without feelings and attachment. Feelings and attachment are necessary for good love dynamics. However, feelings and attachment is not the same as dynamics. Dynamics is how 2 characters treat and act towards each other in the present moment. Feelings and attachment is the why. Why is this character here interacting with the other character? Why does it matter? Why does it matter to the character? How does the character feel when they're interacting with the other character? Although feelings and dynamics are connected, we don't often have too much time to think about how we are feeling when we interact with others. We have a small window to feel and act before the interaction leaves us behind. This is what makes the Miraculous Love Square so important and their dynamics so entertaining. How the characters feel towards each other dictates the dynamic of the ship. Let's compare the ships Ladrien and MariChat. Both ships are the dynamics of a civilian and superhero. At the beginning of these ships, it's just 2 superheroes who are interacting with 2 civilians to help keep the civilian safe / Paris safe. However, would you say the dynamic between MariChat and Ladrien are the same? Of course not, you'd scream out loud. Ladrien is Ladybug trying to focus and be a superhero while interacting with blushy and distractive Adrien, while MariChat is a charming, sweet, Cat Noir, who is a loyal and sincere friend towards Marinette, who is her normal, sweet, darling, and witty self, who's not being a stalker. These are the same two people, with one as a superhero and the other as a civilian, yet their dynamics are vastly different, and the reason for this is their feelings towards each other, the way they relate to each other, how they are bonded together. In Ladrien, both characters have a crush on each other, so while interacting they are both just very flustered, but also considerate of the other's pain when suffering. Like when Adrien injured his leg, or when Ladybug lost majority of the Miraculouses to Hawkmoth. In contrast, Cat Noir and Marinette don't have a crush on each other in the beginning. For Marinette, Cat Noir is her amazing partner who she trusts with her life, and good friend she truly cares about platonically. While for Adrien, Marinette is his friend who always takes a moment to ask what he wants and how he feels, rather than telling him what to do or how to be, which is what everyone else does in his life. Marinette and Cat Noir don't like each other romantically at the start. However, they both hold special places in the other's heart. And although they don't often see each other in these identities, it is a dynamic where they can wholeheartedly interact without the romantic nervousness or expression getting in the way. However, feelings and attachment don't mean much if we don't know the character's traits and personality. How the character expresses their feelings and attachment is based on their character traits and personality. Marinette and Cat Noir. For most of the show, Marinette crushes on Adrien and Cat Noir crushes on Ladybug. Although the way they feel, feelings and attachment, are the same, the way they show those feelings are very different. Cat Noir loudly expresses his love for Ladybug every moment he gets, while Marinette tries so hard but she can't express herself and is often left an awkward mess. One character isn't going to act the same way another character would in the same situation. If they did, then what makes them unique? They have different personalities, so their decisions in the same situation will be different. This is further exemplarily shown in the show once this love square reverses. Suddenly the Adrienette dynamic is much more vibrant than before, because Adrien is outwardly expressing his feelings for Marinette whenever he gets the opportunity to, while Ladybug is a mess in front of Cat Noir, trying her best to express the way she feels. The dynamic changes as the characters' feelings change. As their feelings change, how they act changes. The way they act will be determined by the character's personality. Depending on who acts, the dynamic changes. The Adrienette dynamic changed when Adrien started crushing on Marinette and was the one initiating romantic moves, while the LadyNoir dynamic changed once Ladybug started to pursue Cat Noir and Cat Noir stopped pursuing her. Why does the MLB fandom hate Ladrien and love MariChat? Again, like I mentioned earlier, they're both a superhero civilian dynamic, but for some reason, one feels so wrong and the other doesn't. Why does MariChat work and Ladrien doesn't? It all comes down to personality. Cat Noir is a flirt. He's always being kind of flirtatious with everyone. With Ladybug, with Volpina, with Rena Rouge, with Ryuko, with Vesperia, with Purple Tigress. It's like we can't go 5 episodes without seeing Cat Noir kissing a lady on her finger. One of Cat Noir's character traits is to be flirty, so him originally being flirty with Marinette when they meet isn't surprising. Furthermore, as MariChat progresses, Cat Noir's role in the dynamic feels natural. The sincerity, the companionship, the puns, the occasional flirting feels natural. If he was like that with any other acceptable civilian, the audience wouldn't be surprised because it feels natural, because he's a flirt. And God, do we love him for it. The reason Ladrien doesn't work is because of Ladybug's personality. Ladybug is the leader. She's in charge, has impoundable pressure on her. She doesn't have time for a love interest, or at least that's how she's written. If the public were to see her flirting with Adrien at the rest, everyone, including us, the audience, would be giving a side-eye. Because Ladybug isn't flirtatious with everyone. She's at most just flirty with Cat Noir here and there, but that flirtatiousness could also be just seen as being witty. The same is true with Adrien. As Adrien is a famous idol with almost no personality, he's a celebrity. He can't actively have a relationship with Ladybug as Adrien. He doesn't have the freedom to do so, especially not a superhero. He doesn't have that luxury. This explains the next part of relationship/love plots, which are the internal and external conflicts of the characters. Internal and external conflict. External conflict is external plot causing a push and pull on what the characters are and aren't allowed to do. In Miraculous, external conflict is the reason why Ladybug and Cat Noir aren't revealing their identities, so they don't become more vulnerable when facing Shadow Moth. External conflict is the reason Adrien and Marinette never see each other, because Gabriel always kept Adrien stashed away from his friends. External conflict is the reason why MariChat can never be, because Hawkmoth always tries to prey on Marinette to get to Cat Noir's Miraculous. External conflict is the reason why Adrien and Ladybug can never be together, because Ladybug has immense external pressure as the guardian and as the face of the Miraculous to the public, while Adrien could never get the freedom to date Ladybug because of his controlling father. These external conflicts make characters feel internal feelings. Feelings like guilt, desire, the pressure to keep feelings hidden. These conflicts push and pull at the characters and make the Love Square even more engaging.